All right, echo chambers of influence. We're going to pull back the curtain on something that, well, it quietly influences you every single day. We're talking about those invisible echo chambers that kind of shape your entire digital world. I mean, have you ever had that feeling where the internet is just reading your mind? You know what I'm talking about, right? You're just thinking about something and then bam, an ad or a video about that exact thing just pops up. It's kind of spooky. Makes you wonder if your phone is listening in. But what's really going on here? Well, the truth is, it's not your mind. It's the architecture. It's not about mind reading at all. It's all about this invisible digital architecture that's been built all around us online. And that's what we're going to dig into today. We're going to see exactly how this whole thing works. Okay, so let's start with the invisible architect. Who is this architect building our digital world? Well, it's not a person. It's actually a really powerful system working behind the scenes. So let's, pull back that curtain and see how it's all put together. So this architect, it's the algorithm. Now that word sounds really complex, right? But at its core, it's just a set of rules. Its whole job is to sift through these mountains of data, find patterns in what you seem to like, and then recommend more stuff it thinks you'll enjoy. Pretty simple, really. And, the main goal here is actually pretty helpful. The whole idea is to cut through all the noise online and just give you stuff that's relevant to you. It's meant to make your time online smoother, faster, more personal. Sounds great, right? But, and there's a big but, there's a catch. And this is where we get to the flaw in the design. This thing that's supposed to build bridges, to connect us, it can end up doing the exact opposite. It starts building walls. And it all comes down to this really simple but incredibly powerful feedback loop. Here's how it goes. 1, you interact with some content. A click, a like, maybe you watch a video for a while. 2, the algorithm learns your preferences from that. And 3, it shows you more of the same. And because, let's be honest, we all like things that agree with us, that's just human nature, you interact again. And that loop just gets tighter and tighter, reinforcing the path you're on. So here's the crazy part, the real paradox. The intention was to connect you with relevant content, but the unintended consequence, it actually isolates you within your own beliefs. The very system designed to connect you ends up building this little bubble around you, carefully filtering out anything that might challenge what you already think. And that brings us right to what we call the echo chamber effect. Welcome to your personalized reality. See, you're not just browsing the internet anymore, you're living in a world that's been curated and built piece by piece just for you. So what is an echo chamber? Well, it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's a digital space where your own beliefs are just amplified and echoed back at you over and over again. And at the same time, opposing views get filtered out. They become rarer and rarer until, eventually, it feels like they don't even exist. And this brings it all full circle, right? These echo chambers, these are the digital architectures we were talking about at the start. They are these invisible structures we're all living in online, and their main job is to reinforce what we already believe. Okay, so what does it actually mean to be living in the chamber? The consequences here are, well, they're way more profound than you might think. This isn't just about what we see online. It's about how we think. I mean, check this out. These systems shape our perceptions, often without our awareness. That's the key right there. They're constantly shaping how we see the world. And the scariest part, most of the time, we don't even know it's happening. So how exactly are our perceptions getting shaped? Well, first, your beliefs basically get put on a loop. They're reinforced so constantly that they start to feel like universal truths. Then, because you're never really shown a convincing alternative, your ability to think critically starts to shrink. And the big final result of all this, our collective understanding, our shared sense of reality, starts to fragment into a million little pieces. And if you look at it visually, it's pretty stark. Inside that echo chamber, the reinforcement of your beliefs is cranked all the way up to high. Meanwhile, your exposure to anything outside that chamber is turned way, way down to low. It is the absolute perfect recipe for making you feel 100% certain without you necessarily being right. So, all of this really leads to the most important part. What does this mean for you? Now that we know these walls are there, how do we start seeing beyond them? How can we become the architects of our own experience instead of just living inside a design someone else built for us? I mean, that's the million-dollar question, right? So how do we see past the walls? If the whole system is built to keep us inside, how do we even get a peek over the top? How do we make sure we're actually getting the full picture? And here's the final takeaway, the most important thing to remember. The goal isn't to try and escape the algorithm. Let's be real, we can't. It's just part of our world now. The real goal is to understand the architecture. It's all about awareness. Because once you understand how it's built, once you can actually see the walls of your own echo chamber, they start to lose their power over you. That's when you can start to consciously seek out different perspectives. You can choose to click on that dissenting opinion or follow someone you disagree with, just to see what they're saying. You can start to design your own experience. And trust me, that changes everything.